Alrighty, have it going, folks. So here we are with the Advent calendar of 2025. Things, people, experiments, discoveries, inventions that did not happen. Okay? We know what we've had. Sagnac effect, flat earth, firmament, loud Jacob, Schwarzschild metric, Gregorio, Ricky, Curbastro, and today, Humphrey Lloyd. Humphrey Lloyd. Wow. What did Humphrey Lloyd do? Let's have a little. I'll give you a little rundown of what he did. Humphrey Lloyd, physicist. Humphrey Lloyd, born on the 16th of April, 1800, and died 1881, was an Irish physicist and academic who served as the 30th Provost of Trinity College, Dublin. Lloyd is known for experimentally verifying conical refraction, a theoretical prediction made by William Rowan Hamilton about the way light is bent when travelling through a biaxial crystal. Why would anybody want to know how light reacts when travelling through a biaxial crystal? Humphrey carried out the Lloyd's mirror optic experiments and was a member of numerous societies in Europe and North America. He also published works relating to religion and the religious identities of Ireland. Goes on, scientific career, early education. There we go. He also succeeded in establishing experimentally the law by which the polarization of the rays composing the luminous cone is governed. Handy. And that is something I use every day. Where are we? Go. Shortly after, by means of an experiment on the interference of light proceeding directly from a luminous source, with light coming from the same source but reflected at a very high angle of incidence from a plane surface. He contributed to the theory of reflected light. It's pretty fascinating stuff for somebody who isn't in any of the books. Now, as you would have probably gathered, it's about light. You know, like the Christian Huygens, isn't it? And was it 1600s? Came up with a wave theory for light. A wave front or a wave crest. Look, I can't remember the words exactly, otherwise I would have gone for it. But at the end of the day, and light is propagated. Right. Humphrey Lloyd, you heard the write-up, so I've got them out today because they are Lloyds. We have Lloyds coming out the yin-yang, okay? But obviously, I'm going to my 1961. And IJKL Lloyd barrage system. That's it, Lloyd barrage system. And we've got llamas. So he'd be right after llamas. So he's quite easy. It's not something that you can't find, you know, because llamas are everywhere. Llamas everywhere. Just no Lloyd. Look for llama and you think Lloyd Humphreys. All that stuff he did. The question does arise though, doesn't it? Where was all of this information about Lloyd Humphreys held? Where did it come from? Are we at hypothetical stuff? Where did it come from? I've got 12 encyclopedias and random science, physics, advanced physics. There is no mention of this guy, okay, in the books. All of this books span over 60 years, in fact, right? Because there's a couple of 2011s that I've looked, and he wasn't in one of them, but that's irrelevant. We're talking from 2000. Where was all of the information about Lloyd Humphreys held? Where did the person that wrote it on there, where did that person get this information from about Lloyd? Where did the people get the information from for all of these things? They're not in any of the books. Is there a secret vault somewhere where they keep knowledge, certain people, for special occasions, or how does that work? This is what you're missing this bit. You just think I'm here trashing the science, what, for the hell of it? You have to think about these things. These are all of the educational books, encyclopedias. They went all around the world with all of the knowledge, everything that happened up until that year, which is why you get 77, and then 78, 79, 80, 81, boom, 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 90, 91, like boom, boom. Every year, when something new happens, there's little tiny updates of the new whatever it is. But between 1951 and let's call it 2000, there is no mention whatsoever of any of this stuff. Right? Just no mention. So where did the people at Google get all of this information about all of these people from the 1800s, 1700s? Where do these records come from? If you cannot see how illogical it is, right, that all of these people are appearing out of nowhere. If I hadn't had, look, I read these things and I can see through them. It's just so obvious to me. Some of the write-ups about some things are ridiculous. But people are making sense, making logic out of these things. It's insane. So, Humphrey Lloyd, the Irish physicist. I'm afraid he's not in any of the books whatsoever, right? Not the Spanish book either. I check all of them, okay? There's Lloyd's, so we've got the 1975, okay? I mean, if you're a Lloyd, you're in here, aren't you? Right? So we've got Lloyd Marie. Was there one before that? Just check this page here. Oh, yeah. Oh, Lloyd Humphreys. Oh, of course not. So here we go. Lloyd Edward, Lloyd Harold Demarest. Lloyd Marie, Lloyd John Selwyn Brooke, Lloyd William, Lloyd George David. And some of these things are nothings. They're in there just because. It's the silliest things, right? Church of England Bishop of Worcester, 1700 to 1717, led the opposition to the Roman Catholic. Okay, handy to know. But is it handy to know? And how does anybody verify these things? I'm being very serious, okay? There are lies. These books are just full of lies. Full of lies, right? And they start from when we're kids. Now, it's a little bit tougher to call lies in books. But it's obvious that there are, because of one very, very obvious thing. During a solar eclipse, folks, okay, as seen from the sweet spot on planet Earth, when you're looking up at the moon, the sun's corona is visible around the moon. Now, it shouldn't take too much common sense to understand we are looking at absolute light. We're not looking at light with any delay, Okay? Now, it's really obvious, right? Really, really obvious. So it is amazing that we're here, right? Don't forget, everything that I'm putting on this board is stuff that has been made up to keep 299792458 meters per second afloat. It's something that it has so many little connectors weaving in and out of years and different people, etc., that it isn't logical, maybe, to do what I'm doing. But to me, it is logical because I can see right through it. I'm not making this up. So now we have Lloyd, okay? Lloyd, Humphrey Lloyd. Every book. Got Lloyd's, like I said, coming out of the yin yang, right? Llama and all that stuff. There's a llama, look. Lloyd Harold Clayton, Lloyd Henry Demarest, Lloyd Selwyn, Lloyd George David. That's kind of it. And Lloyd's Bank, Lloyd's of London. A bunch of rip-off artists. Money, money, money. So, once again, and today's is the 20th of December. Alright, so we've still got five days to go. I still haven't even, I've got to do something a bit special on the Christmas day, haven't I? Alright, we'll come up to 12 minutes. There you go, folks. Humphrey Lloyd, totally fabricated, made up to promote the lie that is the speed of light. He was involved in a lot of light, verified this and verified the other, that somebody else who didn't ever exist verified years earlier, and he was verifying that because somebody else who was fabricated out of thin air did some other research years before that, and it goes on and on and on. Okay, so I'm here busting the speed of light because it's obviously absolute. Okay, none of the methods claimed to have measured it, starting from Roma onwards, have any substance to them, all right? And it doesn't take a lot to work out. People, you need to pay attention to the details of what is being said about these things, all right? So, now we have Scientific Effect, Flat Earth, Firmament, Loud Jacob, Schwarzschild Metric, Gregorio Ricky Culbastro, and Humphrey Lloyd. 20th of December, number 7 of things that are in none of the books, but have suddenly appeared like they've belonged forever. And I assure you, they haven't. All right, have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow with more stuff that just didn't happen, didn't exist. That's what it's all about, because when they control that, they control everything. Control everything, don't they? The universe, it's expanding, it's shrinking, matter, dark energy, pink energy, neutrinos, freaking, it's just this ongoing charade. And they are not colliding particles at CERN. How can they be? Light is absolute. Tunnels deep under Europe, isn't it? That's what it is. Anyway, coming up to 15. Have a great weekend, y'all. Stay frosty. Keep thinking. They don't want you to. You need to keep thinking. Laters.